This episode is brought to you by our friends at MILWAUKEE Tools. Outdoor power equipment gives you the power to clear, cut, and maintain the outdoors without the petrol headaches. No pull starts, no engine maintenance, no mixing petrol and oil. Book a test drive now at milwaukeetools.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty. This episode is also brought to you by our friends at RIXX. RIXX is an Australian lifestyle brand founded with a mission to transform the eyewear industry by creating carefully crafted eyewear that inspires confidence. Everybody should be able to enjoy a touch of luxury and the confidence it brings. See the world differently today. Head online now at rixeyewear.com.au and check it out. Righto, let's get into the show.
Oh, Michael Zerafa back in the house.
We're back, brother.
Good to see you, mate.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, mate, we love it when people come back. I mean, we only started this for a year, but it's great to see you. It's very important that we give everyone an update what you've been up to because there's some exciting news coming out of your camp and we need to start the hype train right here at Oz American Aces.
We've got to get straight into it, mate.
So, mate, give us an update on how you've been travelling and what's been happening since our last chat.
So after my last big win against Isaac Hardman, I shut a lot of people up. I knocked him out in the second round and it moved me to number 2 in the IBF and number 1 in the world now, the WBA, which has now opened up the world title shot for next year, March, against a very big name, Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, which is a huge and scary fight, but that's what it's all about, I guess. You got to be in it to win it.
So blokes like me, I don't know who this bloke is. Give us what's he like as a fighter?
He's the most dangerous fighter in the world, in the middleweight division. He's coming off a loss against Canelo Alvarez, which, I mean, is a beast as well, but his only losses were to him. And he's pretty much knocked out everybody else. So it's a huge task in front of me. But like I said, I'm training hard. I'm off to America very, very soon this month for a huge training camp and a keep busy fight in Orlando, December 11. So a lot's happening, man. A lot's full on.
You've been putting the work in. I know that.
100%. But man, like I said, I'm excited for the opportunity and grateful. So
mate, you've been talking about this fight for ages and
number 1 in the world, man. Seems crazy, but we're there.
So you're gonna win, right? We're all about positive affirmation. What has to happen, so you go to Orlando, we'll get into the details soon, right? You go to Orlando, you got this training camp, little tune-up fight, and then March, what was the date?
Well, it hasn't been exactly.
But around that.
But it's mid-March, yeah.
Mid-March. It could be in Australia, is the rumour.
Well, yeah, he's keen after his last fight against Canelo. He said that he's happy to come to Australia, and which suits me perfectly.
And it suits everyone, so we can get there and support you. And we take him down, and then that's life-changing. You're the man.
We're the man. We're earning.
You've done it all.
We're number 1 in the world, and we're earning big dollars. So that's what it's all about. It's about legacy for me and being a world champion, but. I'll take the money while it comes as well.
Oh, mate, you deserve it. The amount of work that boxers and, there's any other individual sports people, whether they're in the Olympics and they're trying to be a runner, a swimmer, all these, individual awards. Fucking the amount of work that goes in, it's like crazy, hard work. Crazy. Like you put in so much hard work, the sweat, there's probably tears along the way. To get this moment, it's big.
Well, it's taken me 17, 18 years. And like I said, it's the only sport that doesn't love you back. You give absolutely everything for it and to it, and then very rarely you get a reward if, some don't even get the opportunity. So, for me, it was inevitable. I always believed that I was going to be a world champion. And, like I mentioned previously, at 7 years old, I said, it's all in or nothing. And, now I'm 30 years old. And I'm literally touching that world title now, and I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back for sure.
Now, blokes, again, because I'm not the boxing guru. That's why I love you, because you just give it to me on a platter. This fight in Orlando, you say it's a tune-up, right? Like when you say it's a tune-up, you're going in there, you're still trying to knock his block off, aren't you?
100%. And it's a risky fight because he's got everything to gain, nothing to lose. He's at the end of his career. So a tune-up fight means you're not picking top 5 in the world. You're picking someone that's top 20. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit, you're expected to win, because I've got such a big fight ahead, a world title. I'm ranked across all 4 sanctioning bodies, top 5 in the world, pound for pound in the middleweight division. You don't want to risk it and lose everything. Even if you get cut, you might win the fight and get cut, and that slows the whole process down. So for us with my team, we're picking a very smart opponent that's suitable for us to get the win.
It's smart.
Well, anything can happen. You go out there, you're one punch from winning and one punch away from losing.
I know.
So
it's just...
you got to be smart. And like I said, he's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. And if he beats me, it opens up a door for him in a world title shot. So, there's a lot on the line. You just got to be real smart.
You go into these fights do you want to go the distance and get the training, or you just want to put him to sleep early? What's the
Because
mindset?
I've knocked out everyone. My last 3 years, I've only had about 4 rounds because I've knocked everybody out. So as much as it's cool and, you feel like a bit of a legend, walking around, knocked everybody out. But, I haven't been getting the rounds in the bank. And, when I fight somebody like a Gennady Golovkin and Triple G or, anybody world class, you get caught undone because you haven't got the rounds in the bank. So for me, if I can take him a little bit longer than, first or second round, I'll be wrapped. But at the moment now, I'm hurting everybody. So
oh man, it's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. It is. I'm not complaining, but like I said, my last 4 opponents, my last 7 fights, I think, my last 7 I've had all stoppages. So and there've been a few big names in there too, which is pretty cool.
Mate, it must feel good when you just see them go down, because I've seen a few fights where they get back up and then they can turn the tables, but when you just put them to sleep, it must be, it's a good feeling knowing the fight's over, all your hard work's done, here comes the paycheck as well. You get a good paycheck for winning, don't you?
Now you do. Or win, lose or draw, it's the same. But
really?
Obviously if you win, you elevate into something bigger. But like I said, obviously I don't want anybody getting hurt or anything happening, but when a fight gets called off early, you feel good, all the hard work's paid off instead of punching on for 12 3-minute rounds. You've done it in the first or second round. It's pretty awesome. But like I said, I need the rounds because my opponents now, they're all world class, and highly world ranked. So I need to get the rounds underneath my
In
belt.
saying that though, your training program that you're doing, you're getting a lot of rounds in with a lot of high, like classy operators. What kind of training have you been doing to prepare yourself for not only Orlando but next year?
Well, I've just signed now a contract with a huge promoter, Elvis Grant, and a manager. Elvis Grant, that does the Grant boxing gloves, one of the biggest names in the sport. So I've signed with him, and he's organised now a massive team for me with big names like Sergio Martinez, Montoya, my head trainer, alongside with Elvis Grant. So I head over to America. And do my training camp there, and again sparring 2-3 times a week with world class. That's where it takes it all out of you. That's the hard work. The fight's the fun part. The lights, the cameras, the TV, the entrance, the card girls. It's all fun, So it's the training that kills you. But we're training 2-3 times a day. And leaving no stone unturned, man.
I love it. So give us it sounds like an AFL pre-season for me. If I was doing footy season, the pre-season's just, it's the worst, but it does set your year up. But it's a long grind. I'd imagine it's the same in the boxing industry. So when you go to, is it LA or Orlando?
So I'll be in LA and I'm fighting in Orlando.
Yeah. So Orlando's the fight and LA's the training program. How long's the program in the training camp? And give us a bit of an insight on what you're going to be doing, because a lot of people listening don't understand what it takes and the amount of pain that you have to put the body through already, then go there.
So much. Now we usually do 10 to 12 weeks, and I like to do 2 to 3 training sessions a day. One of those sessions being a recovery, but it varies every day. From track work to sparring to strength conditioning to women to swimming, to all bunch of varies of training, but it's full on. Like I said, we're training about 5-6 hours a day, and then a recovery session at night. But that's every day for 6-7 days.
When you're sparring, do you ever cop any big blows to the head?
Oh, huge, all the time. Yeah, all the time. You got guys that obviously aren't where you're at, so they want to prove a point, or there's guys that are above you and want to put their foot down and show you that they're the man. But you just do you. I just focus on what I got to do. I got a game plan always in motion, and I just try to enjoy it. I know it's hard to enjoy boxing, getting hit in the head, but I've done it my whole life. For me, it's literally that's all I know. Boxing's all I have.
Yeah.
So for me, I just go in there, I walk in, and every day you wake up, and we're beyond sore. Mentally, physically, emotionally wrecked. But you just get up. You just got to rock up and do what you got to do, man. Just get in the bang.
Break yourselves down.
It's crazy, man. I remember some days I wake up and I just can't actually, my body's just aching, Just to walk in the gym, I just can't be fucked, man. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
But you get in there and there's a bit of a vibe. There's 1 or 2 guys, or mates that you see, or your trainer, and you crack a joke. It's a bit of a vibe. You get your coffee in you, whatever, and you just do it. Just
a bit of energy.
Yeah, man. Just airplane mode, man. You just do what you got to do, pilot mode, man.
While you're thinking about that, just wanted to give Ned Brockman a shout out. I don't know this guy. You would have just seen he's just completed the run from
man.
Cottesloe to Bondi.
Phenomenal.
I mean, you talk about pain.
Yeah.
Man, what he's put himself through. I don't know the man. I've been following him on social media. I think the whole of Australia, maybe the world now, has woken up to him. What he's had to put himself through, it's
phenomenal.
So inspiring for so many people out there that are putting their own, themselves through any kind of program and think they can't do it, or
100%.
I'm too sore today, or I'm too tired.
You just got to push, man. You just got to push through it, and that's the key. It's there's the easy way will always be there. You know, man, it's just like, well, I can kick back and chill out, which everyone would rather do. I'd rather sit at home and have a few beers with the boys as well, but you know, it's not going to get you anywhere. You know what I mean? Then 2 days from there, you'll be like, oh man, I'm 2 days behind. So for me, I'm just like, yeah, I'm sore, I'm tired, but I know that at the end goal, that I won't even remember this session. You know, once I'm holding that belt, you know, cashing in those checks, you know, and got where I want to get, I'm not going to remember that day that I was sore and, you know, I couldn't be bothered. And it's selfish. I say to myself, it's selfish. Like, there's people out there, man, that like, you know, wish they could be in the position I mean, you know, so I'm super grateful. You know, there's kids out there that, you know, unfortunately can't see, or, you know, that don't have, you know, the things that we got. So I find it selfish to complain some days.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good reminder. And it's, yeah, I mean, you're spot on. You don't want any regrets.
Correct, man.
Especially in your game. I reckon in other games, there might be like, it's more grey area. It's like, is this good for me? I might just test it. But with you can't. I mean, like, let's talk about stripping body weight, you know?
Sucks.
Like, we just had the RIXX party, the 6th birthday at Bar Bambi, and what a night. And man, I say, your fashion sense is just spot on. I've never seen you not look good. You're always looking.
You were going to be there, man. I had to step up my game. So
you always look $1 million, mate. But I've just found out that you couldn't eat too much, and they put on this amazing spread, the boys, the Russians. If you got to go somewhere, go to Bar Bambi. There's no better bar. They put on a spread. We had so much fun, but unfortunately, as much as we want to celebrate, you just go those events anywhere. You can't really eat or drink, so you can't do much.
I do all the time, and I was surrounded by, you know, all the lovely people, and everyone was offering me food, and I was like, unfortunately, you know, I couldn't do it. You know, I just had to. I've got a strict diet plan that I stuck to, and you know, prior to coming to the event, I had already ate, and then I had food waiting for me at home. So if I ate anything in between, it would have thrown me out. So there's a lot of sacrifice. It's not even about the body weight. It's just about, you know, that mental toughness, about dedication, just sticking to what needs to be done. And, you know, as soon as I got home from the event, I had my brown rice and my chicken and then went straight to bed. But yeah, it was tough because there was so much good food getting passed around.
I know.
The pastas and the, you know, all the great food. But again, I just remind myself the end goal, you know, like when I'm sitting there, you know, with that belt around my waist, you know, and it's done after, you know, 17 years. I'm not going to think about a bit of pasta, you know. So.
And that's it, man. That's the thing that people, I mean, they probably don't think about it. At the time, they're probably like, just eat it. Don't worry about it. Man, what's not going to do anything to you? You know, it's like, no. I'm on a different like journey, and I need you to put yourself in my shoes for a second, which they wouldn't, because they're just having fun and probably having a few drinks. But there's so many little sacrifices that you make.
Yeah, that's why I just test myself, you know, like it probably wouldn't have done anything. You know, like a little bit of pasta probably wouldn't have done anything. But
a little bit of doubt though.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, knowing that, you know, crap, I broke that, you know, that little bit of dedication and that discipline that I shouldn't have, you know, just plays in your mind. For me anyway, everyone else is different. You know, I know people that are, you know, at that top end of the game, and, you know, they drink every weekend, or, you know, they have a cigar or whatever it may be, having a few smokes or whatever it may be. But for me, you know, my go-to is sugar. We've mentioned.
Yeah, you love it.
I love my sweets. So if I don't have certain foods, I can have a little bit of here and there. So I give and take. You know, if I'm going to have a bit of chocolate, I'm not going to have the pasta, you know. But if I'm going to have the pasta, I won't have the things. So just always setting those little tasks in front of me just to make myself mentally stronger, man.
And routine. Now, how you been going? Obviously, there's been a lot of waiting and a lot of to and from throughout since we last spoke, and you've just been training like a madman.
Literally.
Like, what's your advice to people out there to just keep rocking up and being consistent, especially in your game where you're waiting for that opportunity?
Literally, that's exactly what you just said. Just rock up. Yeah, as soon as you rock up, you know, even when you feel like shit, you're tired, you want to throw it all in, the body's hurting, mentally, physically, you're done. You just rock up. You're doing it. You're saying all this and you're feeling all this whilst you're driving to the gym. As soon as you're there, there'll be that one person that will pick you up. You know, it might be your trainer. It might be your teammate. Depending on what sport you play, you know, if it's boxing, it might be your trainer. And as soon as you get in there, he'll crack a joke, and then you've just forgotten about everything else, and you just, you know, whilst you're still complaining, you're wrapping up. And then when you're in there, you don't have time to think about, oh, I'm sore. Oh, I don't want to be here. You're there. So that's already, you know, that already gets out of your mind by, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go. You can't say that if you're already there. You know, so I say to everybody, if you train hard, you fight easy. Just rock up. You don't have to go there and give 100% every time, but just rock up. You know, 40% is better than not going at all. You know what I mean? So people always put this pressure on themselves that I've got to be the best. I've got to be the best. You can't be 100% every day. And that's the truth, man. That's like, I wish I could, and I wish everybody could, but that's it's not real.
No,
know
you
what I mean?
can't.
You can't be 100% every day. That's not huge.
And they measure it now as well. Like I'll never forget we used to have these things in the gym when we do bench press, and I was so weak at bench press, bro. Like I'm good at bench pull, but I'm just weak. And we'd have this like, I think it's the I don't know what's the Smith machine. You know, you throw the bar.
Yeah.
And we used to have those little cords connected, and it'd read your power and all your scores, and you compete against yourself. Correct. And obviously we'd have a leaderboard and see who's at the top, but there's just days where you're cooked. And you're like, I'm trying my hardest. It's just not happening.
But if you stayed in bed and complained about it, you'd be actually mentally worse and you wouldn't be that 40% better. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I rock up the gym some days, I'm like, man, I just feel like shit. I feel 20% in, but 20% is better than staying in bed watching Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or staying in bed eating ice cream or staying at home and, going for a walk. Like, just rock up. And like I said, there will always be one person, one music, one song, that you'll hear that will pick you up, or, something. You'll have a conversation with someone and it just goes, you'll have a phone call and it'll just pick you up.
Yeah, music's key.
Like, music's key, man. Like, even when I'm driving gym, like, man, I can't be bothered, man. I'll put on something that I don't usually listen to, and I'm just like, man, I'll just start getting into it. And then before you know it, I'm rocking out in the car on the way to the gym. I mean, my mood's picked up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just every day, man, that's what I do. You got to tell yourself that it's okay not to be 100%.
Speaking of the music, you've just reminded me of something. When you come out to your music for for fight night, let's get the terminology
game
right
day,
over here. I'm going game day, fight night, right? Fight night. What song do you select? Is there a few copyright issues with your song, or do you have access to every song?
No, I've got access to my song. I mean, I haven't been put up yet, but I've got Hall of Fame by the script. I've had that pretty much my whole career. I started off my early days with AC/DC Thunderstruck, and then I outgrew that probably 4 or 5 fights in. And Hall of Fame for me, I don't know, it's got this feeling. I don't know. I hear it and I'm just like, man, this is it now, and everyone hears it and they're like, man, Zerafa's song. Even like I get people send me, text messages or, on Instagram, they're in the car and it'll come on and they're like, oh, your song's on. So like when they hear it, they straight away think Zerafa. So, and that was what I wanted. I wanted to align myself with a song where when they hear it, they think of me, and I've got Hall of Fame now by the script. And like I said, when it comes on, it's just like, I close my eyes. I'm just like, man, this is it now. Like, showtime.
That's good.
It's got it doesn't pump me up. It's got more of an emotional,
deeper
feeling. Yeah. Than more than a G up.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is,
Oh, mate. And so Orlando, that'll be coming on. Obviously, it's going to play.
Yeah. And that's going to be at the WBA convention, which is huge. So
anyone out there, our American Aces, I'm not sure how many we've got listening over in Orlando, but if there's anyone there.
It'll be huge, man. It's, like I said, WBA convention, so all the greats will be there. Sugar Ray, all those guys will be down there watching. So it'll be huge night. So if you're in Orlando, get down.
Yeah, let's get down. Who else is fighting on the night?
Sergio Martinez is going to be on there, which is a former world champion, massive name. And then there'll be stacked undercards. So big night.
Mate, that's exciting. I'm pumped.
I can't wait. And like I said, because I've been out the ring for so long, my last win was April. And, the thing about being highly world ranked is you're not as active, which, again, is a good problem to have. But, I mean, you're just sitting down waiting all the time, and then you're just training not for no reason, but you're just training, putting in the work for just that phone call to say, all right, man, we're on. And it's like, man, every time my phone rings, I'm like, oh, let's go. What is it? Like, oh, mate, we're just doing this. I'm like, oh. So patience is key, and I'm not a very patient person. So
either am I, man.
Hard.
Either am I.
Hard, everyone says, man, just be patient, man. You're in a good position. I'm like, how can I be patient? Going to the fights and watching everyone else fight. Even when I went to Georgia on Sunday, I was like, as soon as I walked in the venue, man, I had half the crowd that were getting a Michael Zerafa chant. I said, this is next level. My manager saw it. He goes, mate, we've got to get you back in. He goes, this is nuts. The atmosphere was electric.
Mate, March, if it is March next year, Australia, world title fight. It's going to be massive. We saw what happened, not last fight, the fight before in Melbourne. It took over.
The vibe, man. It's boxing's coming back. With myself, George Kambosos, my rival, Tim Tszyu. I knocked out Hardman, so he's out of the picture now. But there's a few of us that are bringing the sport back, and we're all highly world ranked. And, me and Tim Tszyu, that fight's going to happen. We're already in, kind of talks. It's been brought up again. And people will then realise that I never pulled out of a fight, because he'll fight for his world title, I'll fight for mine. If we win, we'll unify. If he loses and I win, I'm his second chance at a world title shot. And if we both lose, we'll fight each other. And that was the whole point. The whole point along. So people realise that I never pulled out of that fight.
It's going to be an exciting, next couple of years. Huge, we get the world title fight. You and Tszyu fight each other, put it to bed. We know we spoke about in our last fight that you got stitched up and you know the media took over the narrative and kind of told everyone what didn't happen.
I'm happy to wear it. You know, I said I'm happy to wear it now. It is what it is. You know, I still cop it to this day.
Oh, man, that's a problem with media. Like, if they want to write something, I mean,
can't shake it off.
You can't shake it.
Nah.
And when it's a good story and everyone wants to jump on it, they're a beast.
Oh man, it's huge. Even like at the Campos, for there's a few people that come up to me and they're like, these are the same people that were bagging me and in the media, and they're like, oh man, do you mind if we get an interview? I'm a huge fan. I'm like, man, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. You're the one that put me down.
I was like, man, there's no way I'm giving you my time. You know, like,
See, that's the thing that so I love the media. Without the media, we don't get the news, we don't get the sport, the headlines, the updates. But what I'm big on is, and I wish someone said a little, you know, some tech company had some kind of accountability thing for some journos where 1 minute they're like for example, right, Ben Simmons, I couldn't tell you how many people just wrote him off last year.
Yeah.
Right? They just put him down, like every single week. Now he's back, right? And he's looking good.
They turn now.
Yeah, now he's like, I reckon he'll be an all-star.
100%.
So hang on a second. You're just putting him down, saying all these things. Now, I just find it amazing how they can say the opposite. You
That's
know,
their job, I guess.
I guess it is their job. But how could you, why would you pick that line? Why would you say, he's going to come back, he just needs time or whatever it is. But it's just funny how they jump on and off.
They do it all the time, and they do it to me all the time. And because I'm the, you know, the bad boy in the sport. You know what I mean? Like I'm the Anthony Mundine. So yeah, it's real easy to jump on and jump off with me. But I confront them. You know, I've done it to a few of them. The reporters come up to me and I say, mate, like seriously, the fact that you've come up to me, I said, mate, you got balls. I said, because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And like, so I said, mate, look, I'll give you an interview because I'm not going to drop to your level. I said, here's your interview. I say, but seriously, man, like choose your words, you know, next time carefully, because 1 minute they're saying completely the opposite of what I've said. They've interviewed me, I've told them my side, and they go and write something completely. So I said, why did you even ring me for an interview? I said, you wasted an hour of my time because you wrote whatever you wanted. You should have just wrote whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, can I get a thumbs up just to write about you? And I would have just said, yeah. Save everyone the headache.
Get a little tiny quote.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just save the headache. But look, you need the media and you know, they the way they do their job sometimes, though, it's a big question.
Yeah. And like I said, there's plenty of good ones. It's just sometimes the ones that, you know, they're on you and off you and on you. It's like, how could you pick and choose? Anyway, that's a story for another day. Let's go back to the promotion of this fight. In the boxing world, how do you get your name out there? You know, you obviously got the fight, but how much promotion goes into this one in March if it was to be in Australia?
Huge,
like you got to turn it up. You got to turn it up a bit, don't you?
100%, man. And that's the thing. At the moment, I'm a free agent. So
what's that mean? Like,
so I've got no promoter. Which is the key, because when you're signed to a promoter, you're not, the word locked is probably bad, but you're locked to them. You know, so if you're getting a $2 million offer off them, and then, you know, another promoter goes, well, I'll give you 10 million. Well, you can't. You're signed with them.
Yeah.
So at the moment now, I've got a manager, I've got my team, but I've got a free promotional company. So I'm not signed to anybody. So guys like No Limit, who are one of the biggest in Australia at the moment, you got Dean Lonigan, you know, you got Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, you got, you know, Top Rank, Bob Arum, PBC, you know, DeBella, you got all these big promoters that now basically putting their hand up saying, well, mate, would love to have Zerafa, would love to put on a world title, would love to, you know, if that fight goes, would love to put that, you know, on our card. So I'm in a good position now, and basically it goes to a purse bid. So they might say, all right, well, I want Zerafa. Well, how much? I will give you 3 mil. No worries, we'll get back to you. How much do you want for Zerafa? We'll give you 3.5. Okay, so they're winning at the moment. Okay. So it goes to basically a purse bid, and whoever wins at the end of it will get the fight.
And then how much do you get out of that? Is there a percentage?
Well, yeah, I'll get a purse, and then I pay a team.
The team.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Who did George use?
So he was Top Rank. That was Devin Haney's team. So, but the Top Rank's one of the biggest.
So Devin Haney's team promoted the fight.
Well, yeah, he's signed to Top Rank, which is Bob Arum.
Yeah.
So he basically, or they organised it all, which is one of the biggest in the world.
They would have got paid for that first one.
Yes.
The second one didn't look as big.
I think it was about 7 mil.
What was the second? Like the second one didn't look as big, did it?
The actual venue was way better. I thought it was. I thought Marvel. The first one was at Marvel. Yeah, I think the Marvel was just too big for the event. Even if, you know, you had Mayweather fighting there, it was just too big of an opening.
Can't see from the stands.
You can't see. Yeah, just like the actual atmosphere of it. I mean, it was unreal, but it was just too big of a venue for a boxing match. Where Rod Laver was electric, man. I rocked up, I was like, this is nuts. And then as soon as I walked in, I had half the crowd getting, Zerafa chants. I was like, man, this is nuts. And then they told me to come in the crowd, and as soon as I started walking towards them, they just started vibing up. They were just screaming, and then I got down there, and then I got around in the circle, and everyone was just Zerafa.
Aussies are the best, mate. That's why I can't wait.
The Greeks, mate. I must say they are very good at getting behind their own.
And it reminds me of the Aussie Open when,
man, it was nuts.
When Cocky and Kiggs are in town this year, because they're going to be bigger. It's going to go off this year. There's no more of that COVID rubbish, and
huge.
And the boys have been going well. So, mate, does that give you a bit of goosebumps just to think what you're going to walk into?
100%. That's why everyone's so keen. It's with an opponent, the champion, but my opponent, being such a big name. Man, I can't wait. It's a hard fight. I love hard fights. I love being the underdog. That's what it's all about. I don't want to be, I want to fight the best. I want to test myself.
Yeah.
And if I lose, it wasn't meant to be. And if I win, well, I'm a world champion. So.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
But huge fight, man. Like I said, I mean, it's boxing. Anything can happen. But man, I'm excited.
Now, when you're studying your opponents, have you got you do? I mean, I'm in the world where I've come from. There's a lot of vision. There's a lot of coaching. There's a lot of tactics. There's a lot of backup plans. Obviously, a different game. But in your sport, is there a lot of footage and strategy meetings to go, right, this is what we think we can do to put this guy to sleep?
Usually, yes. But for me, I do things very weird. I don't watch any of it. Yeah. A lot of people will say, why don't you watch your opponent? I'm like, because if I go now and I type in Mike Tyson, I'm fighting Mike Tyson, you're just going to see a bad man knocking everybody out.
Yeah.
If I type in Michael Zerafa, you're going to see all my highlights. If I type in Anthony Mundine, you're going to see his knockouts. So if I type in my opponent, you're just going to see a relentless, man boxing. They're not going to show him getting bashed. So for me, I just let my team study, because they know boxing. They break down boxing. I just fight. And then they come to the gym, we implement the plan. Mick, he does this well. He moves after every punch this way, or, he rolls under that way. And then, through that 12 weeks, we start implementing the game plan. But then when I get in the ring, I'll be honest, man, I just wing it.
Yeah.
How can I prepare for the unknown? I know what I'm going in there to do, and I know that I have to win and stick to what needs to be done. I want to go in there, you could say to me, man, I want you to throw a left hook, right, how do I know?
Yeah,
what he's going to do?
Yeah, you got to protect yourself as well.
Correct, man. So I just go out there and I just feel it out, like the first fight, like with Hardman, the first round, he was trying to take my head off. It was this big punching animal, and I was like, so I just kept my distance, used my jab, picking him off, just getting the distance. Then by the start of the second round, I'd already worked it out and figured it out, and then bang, gone. So you got 36 minutes. That's what people forget. I got 36 minutes to win. I don't care. I've trained for 36 minutes. If it goes earlier, well, so be it. But I'm prepared to go 36 minutes. I'm prepared to go to war and prepared to fight. So I don't look for it. It comes.
Nah, you've broken that down beautifully. Now, what about, I've always found it interesting when let's say it's like the 7th or 8th and you're just gassed and you got, cuts on your face, and so does your opponent, and you're in the corner and they're pouring water on your head, and there's always the coach that's just, not spraying you. He's like, mate, we need to do this. How much of that information can you gather in that moment?
It's very hard. There's been times where, because I've been so overwhelmed, I had my cut here that was pretty nasty, and I was like, I could actually feel this, it flapping, and I was like, and I was that focused on that I switched off. I couldn't hear anything, and then I try to just take one or two things out of what they say. They might say, for that whole minute, they might say 20 things. If I can just take one or two things out of that, I'm happy. You know, because it's hard to go there, Mick, you're doing this, you're doing that, but that's what defines a good trainer and not, someone that's telling you, oh, Mick, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. You got to tell them what they're doing wrong. Mick, you're getting hit too much. Real calm. You're getting caught with that left hook. Let's roll out the other way. After every shot, let's roll out this way. And that's enough.
Yeah.
If you're saying, oh, Mick, do this, do that, or I need you to do this and go do this, and oh, man.
You get frustrated as well.
You're getting frustrated. You start panicking. You got a cut on your head. You're hearing all this. You're getting yelled at. It's like, it's 1 minute.
Yeah, I know.
It's
quick, man.
Get all this. It's like, man, just chill, man. What am I doing, And then I'll just go out there and, like I said, I just focus. I just implement my own game plan. If I get my distance, I say this to everyone, if I can get my distance, it may take 10 rounds. It may take 1 round. But if I get my distance, the fight's going to end.
So when you say your distance, just you mean when their striking distance? And
yeah, that's it. So for me, the key is to get the distance. And sometimes you don't find it. But if I find it, I'm going to knock you out.
That's great.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's scary.
But that's what I say to everyone. I say, mate, if I get my distance, and sometimes you don't get it. You might get in the 6th round. You might get in the 12th round. But like my Hardman fight, I got in the first 30 seconds. I was like, this is beautiful. Yeah, the first Jeff Horn fight when I knocked him out, I had in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
I knew straight away. I was like, I got that distance. This is beautiful now. So it means you can hit and not get hit. You know, sometimes they're a bit awkward where you're throwing and you're in that range or out of that range and you're just missing. But the key is to get that footwork right, and then once you get that distance, it's all over.
It's the distance. Well, I mean, I need to learn how to box. I couldn't fight my way away. But you have to teach one day when you're retired. You just need to teach me, mate.
You're fighting to me.
I'm a lover, mate. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. No, it's great. And what about like away from boxing? You know, we know that you're training a lot and a lot of recovery, but what's keeping your mind busy away from boxing? Is there any investments or is there any interest outside of boxing that you've been working on lately?
For me, I'm a building inspector, so I do that part-time and just to switch off boxing. It's something completely different. But for me, man, I like to just chill out and just surround myself around friends, family. And I love greenery, man. I love just being in nature, just going for walks and just chilling out, man. And at home, just watching Netflix and just being lazy. You know, being a kid, get the lollies out and just chill out, man. You know, because I'm always on the go so much. Like I'll get up in the morning, leave by 7:30 and home by, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I'm out the whole day. I'm literally living out of a bag. You know, I'll get changed, have a shower, chuck on my new clothes, go gym, have a shower, get changed, go again. Like I'm the whole day. I come home with this big bag of wet clothes and, by the time anything, I just want to chill out.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah, man, I can't be bothered. I'm driving, flat out all the time. Just for training's an hour and a half. It's nearly 3 hours of driving just for training, and it's hard work. And then sometimes it's just like today the weather's peaking. You know what I mean? So
it's a cracker.
You got to have more water and this and that. So you just can't be bothered.
That was my next question on losing weight. So when you how much weight do you need to drop for these fights? Is there any how much?
So I always stay relatively close to my weight. I love to. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you fight good. And if you fight good, you win. If you win, you make money.
Yeah.
So I always say that. So I like to always look good and stay close to my weight. So I only lose about 5 kilos, 6 kilos a max.
Before the fight?
Yeah, before the fight. Yeah.
And are you talking from training camp to the fight, or you talking?
Yeah, so I always stay around 77, 78 max, and then I get down to 72.5.
How hard is that?
It is hard, yeah, I'm not going to lie. It is pretty hard.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think everyday people that would just just drop 6 kilos.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that easy. But then the thing that I've always found amazing, and I'd love you to touch on this, is where do you find your energy to fight without feeling empty on, it's the most important night of your life at that point. And you've just had to, wait. You know what I mean? You got to weigh in at something ridiculous, say you're 72, and then you can put it back on overnight.
Correct. Yeah, so 24 hours. So your body, that's why we weigh in 24 hours prior. So we jump on the scales and 9 out of 10, I feel like shit, just dry mouth, depleted, just dizzy. If you get up too quick, you feel head spins.
Yeah.
You jump on the scales, and then basically I sit down for about 4 hours straight after. I switch off my phone. I don't talk to anybody, and I just pasta, chicken, meat, lollies, salads, veggies, and I just sit there for 4 hours and just rehydrate and just eat like a king.
And when you eat, do you feel good the next day?
Yeah. So a lot of people, I used to do when I was younger, because I was like, man, boxer, whatever. I was 19 years old. I'd weigh in and go to Macca's.
Yeah.
And then I'd feel like absolute shit, So you got to eat right. And I've got a proper team that, tell me what I should be eating and what I shouldn't be eating and, how much and, what I should be drinking and stuff like that. So it's very, very important. You'll feel like shit if you don't do it right. So for 4 hours, I'll slowly eat. And that's another thing can't eat straight away.
So it's a full, there's a bit of method behind the madness.
Yeah, well, everyone's different. Some people, I see people, as soon as they get off, mate, they're eating a bowl. And I'm like, mate, that's your way. But for the first thing I do is get my hydration back up. That's key. So I won't touch food for at least an hour after my weigh-in. So an hour or 2 hours, I won't eat. I'll just get my Hydrolyte. I'll get my Powerade. I'll get my water. So every 600 of water is a litre of Powerade. So I'll just smash it like that, and I'll do that 3 or 4 times. Then I'll get my food. So hydration is key.
So you get get hydration in, and then you'll slowly eat that next 3 hours. Just slowly eat through all the meals that you've got,
and then you'll get back to feeling just like replenished, just feel grouse, and then you just go back to your normal eating. And then in the morning, I'll have my standard pancakes, bit of ice cream. I have my chicken and rice for lunch.
And most fights are at night, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I'm normally the main event, which is a drainer sometimes because you're the last fight. You get in there at 7 o'clock, your hands getting wrapped, and then you have mixed emotions. 1 minute I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to smash him, and then you're sitting like this, you're like, hurry up.
Yeah, you're
back
waiting
up
around.
again. So, but then when you hear your song, Hall of Fame kicks in, it's a job for me. At the start I was like, oh man, this is cool. But now it's work for me. It's business.
I always find the anticipation to a fight, just as a viewer, you get a bit of a sick, nervous, anxious feeling for the boxers.
Yeah.
what's it like when you're sitting there waiting for the fight just before you? It's like, I'm almost there. I'm not there. This fight could go for 1 round or 12.
Yeah.
But once it's done, I'm on. What's going through your head? Like, are you trying to meditate? Are you thinking, like, what do you how do you keep yourself kind of zen?
Yeah.
Before turning into an absolute beast.
I just surround myself around good people. I just try not to, like, people look at me on TV and they're like, man, how relaxed is he? He's laughing. And I just try not to put too much pressure on myself, like the fight's going to happen. So you can either be nervous and have the fight happen or just be calm. The outcome's still the fight's going to happen. So I just try to tell myself, be present. What's the worst that can happen? You're going to get knocked out. You're going to lose. Okay, big whoop. The guy going in there the Wednesday night or the Friday night is going to be the same guy waking up the next morning. So, but it is scary because you'll be in the back room and you'll hear, like you're on in 3 minutes. Oh shit, this is it now. And then I get in a circle or I say my little prayer or whatever I got to do. And I'm like, this is it now, and it's cool. Like, you see people that have traveled around the world or the state, to come watch it. I'm like, this is nuts, chanting your name and
putting on a show.
You put on a show, all these people come out, I look at the thing or I look on the TV and I'm like, man, look at the stadium. This is nuts. But I just go out there and, like I said, just be me. I just stay present. That's the key, is being present, which I work with a sports psych. And he goes to me, you gotta be present, and that's
embrace the moment,
embrace it, man. Like, as you're going up the steps, count the steps. Feel the inside of your gloves. Turn around as I look at the crowd. I do my my ritual walkout, and the way I do it, I just scan the crowd, and I'm telling myself, count how many blue jumpers you see, and that's literally being present. Yeah, because I'm not thinking about anything else. Like it's the small. That's the difference between good and great. These ones that can just flick that switch.
Yeah, and then when you say flick the switch, like, you're in the ring now, you touch gloves, you go back to your corner, ding, ding, ding. Like, where have you changed that mindset? Like, you still
I'm just looking at his chest, man. I'll talk to myself. Yeah. All right, Mick, you're all right, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Look, he's breathing heavy. I'll talk to myself. Yeah. In the round, and then I'll sit back and I'll be like, round 1. All right, cool. How you feeling, Mick? Feel good. Sounds crazy talking to yourself.
Well, you're kind of in tune with yourself.
You gotta do it, And then when I sit back there, and the thing that people do wrong is they're like, man, like 11 more rounds to go. I never do that. I just say round 1, 1 more round to go, Mick. 1 more round. And then I'll sit back. We can go one more round. Round 3. We got 1 more round. We got 1 more. Let's go 1 more. Round 4. And I just keep doing that to myself. And then before you know it, you're doing that 12 times. It's 12 rounds. Before you know it, it's the 12th and final round. A lot of people are like, oh man, like, I'm only halfway, 6 rounds to go. Like, you're already shooting yourself in the foot.
What about the 12th round? If you get to a 12th, there's not a 13. So you know what I mean? When it's all in, it's like, but you don't want to get knocked out. Like,
You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart.
Yeah. So what point are you like, all right, or if you are down, you got to knock them out, or you might be even. Like, what do you?
Well, look, if you're down, I always say, if you're down, you got to go for it.
Just go.
If you're gonna get knocked out, you're gonna get knocked out, but there's a chance that you're gonna win. So for me, if you're down, 12th round, all in. But if you're winning, cruise, dance. Yeah. You're winning. You're controlling the fight. Don't do nothing stupid. Why be caught? Why be in a heads or tails situation? Getting hit. Just jab, move, man. Just play it smart. He needs to chase you. You don't need to chase him.
Yeah.
Stay away. Be smart. Boxing
play hard to get.
Play hard to get. Yeah, 100%. But if you're losing, it's like, well, mate, I'm going to lose if this bell goes. But if I go all in, I'm a puncher's chance of knocking him out. So let's do it. Let's go. You got to bite down on the mouth guard, like Tyson said, mate. Let's just do it.
It's great, mate. It's great insights for everyone out there, because they're trying to, it's just so unique what you're doing. And like I said to you, I was that keen to get you back on, because we need to keep promoting and give everyone an update on where you're at. And we're probably going to have to do another one just before, because you go to Orlando, that training camp, and then you'll fight in Australia, and the whole of Australia will just be going crazy. I've just got another question. Do you have anyone that has a camera that's filming and documenting all your work and putting it together for like a documentary? I just feel like there'd be such a great opportunity.
Yeah, I've got a guy, Liam. He's a good dude, man. He does all my my videography work and stuff like that, and all my Instagram and social stuff. And he gets down, he gets to the fight nights and stuff like that. But I should have done it from the get go. I've only done it from midway of my career onwards, which is disappointing, because when I do want to watch, my early days when I had the long hair and the flick across, back in the days, and that was pretty cool, the fringe, but I can't see it in that. And if you try to look it up now, it's it's old news now. So yeah, but moving forward, I definitely document everything. It's key. Well, man, show my kids one day.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think for that March, when that fight happens in Australia, I mean, a lot of people will be able to around the fight, but I just think behind the scenes, you know, all the pain and even the training camps, I'd love to see it. You know, you tell you I'm sparring, but like, you know, how long, how many people you're fighting, how many head knocks do you get, how many do you give? It's just such a, I don't know, I guess with social media now, it's pretty cool. We get a lot of that. But for someone like you that's going to be hopefully creating history for Australia, it's...
Fingers crossed for that.
We need more content, brother.
100%, man. Well, I mean, I'm actually in the process of writing a book. I want to write a book. You know, I've called it Michael Zerafa, The Road to Glory. So, you know, it's going to document basically from the start, you know, the ups and downs, you know, the highs and lows, everything, man. You know, what's positive about boxing, what's negative, you know, things I've had to go through, the adversities, you know, the mental battles, everything, you know. So everyone sees, you know, on social media, that's the thing, everyone on social media is so fake that, you know, it's very toxic, man. Like everyone looks at it and says, oh, like, even me, I do it too. Like every one of my posts, it's just me happy.
Yeah,
you know, I post all my happy stuff.
It's the premium stuff.
It's the premium stuff, you know, but the journey has been tough, man. There's been times where, like I said, you know, I've wanted to throw it all in, but, you know, just got to, you know, thank your blessings and the people that have been there around those times that got me through it all. And you know, it's a very lonely sport. You know?
Man, I don't know, but I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Tough.
And not only that, any individual sport, no one really cares about you till you make it, unfortunately.
Correct,
and you don't really get paid until you make it. And that's what's so hard because, you know, it's that 0.01%, isn't it?
It's so bad, man. Like, and no one understands like the amount of no's you get before you get one yes. Like now I'm established, I'm number one in the world. You know, everyone's like, oh, Zerafa, you know, yeah, cool, man. You know, like you get new cars, Maseratis, this and that, and you know, the more you make it and the more money you make, everything else becomes free. It's like it should be the opposite. You know, when you're trying to grind and get there, you know, that's where you should be getting given stuff, but. Fortunately, man, you just got to stay, and that's the difference between the good and greats. The one that can embrace all that, you know. Man, I cry some days. I'm like, man, I'm actually done whilst I'm on my runs, and then before you know it, I'm back. 10Ks are in the bank. I'm watching Netflix.
Yeah,
you know, like it's done. I've already done my run now. I'm in the gym. You know, I'm just having a shit session, but it's done. It's in the bank.
Yeah, bank it.
You
move forward.
Move forward. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. It is very, very tough. You know, I got no teammates to cry to. You know, or you know, ask for advice, or you know, it's up early mornings, you know, late nights, but none of that. You're doing the road work by yourself, hitting pads by yourself. It's just you and your trainer. You know, it's all the pressure's on you. You know, you go in there, you're in AFL, and you know, obviously way more than I would, but you could have a bad day, which I'm sure a lot of AFL players do, and they can still win the game. You know, because the team lifts them. Or in soccer, you know, I missed that goal, but my teammate got it and kicked it, you know, like whatever it may be. But with boxing, you know, you could be winning 11 rounds, the 12th round, and you get knocked out.
Yeah.
It's all over, which happens all the time.
Yeah, mate.
Happened to me in the Jeff Horn fight in the second rematch. You know, I took my eyes off of that second, bang, 10th round went down.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you just summed that up perfectly. And that's why I said it's just so exciting for all of us to get behind you. It's a great time to be alive. And, we don't know what date and we don't know where, but when it happens, I just can't wait to help you out, mate. It'd be good. And yeah, hopefully she all goes well. And then you've got a few fights off the back of it where you can really cash in. Is that kind of how they, you know, you once you're the champ, everyone comes for you, get that purse?
Man, yeah. Well, at the moment, I'm in a very, very nice, comfortable position, and the paychecks are good. The offers are good.
Give me some paycheck offers. Like, I mean, it's a question you shouldn't ask, but just some variety of some purses.
Like a shit offer is 300,000
for a fight.
Yeah, for a fight. You know, I mean, I've gotten 500s, 750s. You know, you win this fight. You know, even this fight anywhere between 3 to 5 million for the world title. You win that fight. You know, you're looking at 8 to 10 plus $1 million fights. You know, and you can lose these fights. That's the difference. You know, you just got to get there, and I'm there now. So. It's just about now peaking at the right time, and that's this fight. You know, you could have 1,000 shit, and that's what I say to all these up and comers. You can have 1,000 shit sparring sessions. I've had sparring sessions where I get bashed by amateurs, and you know, a guy will outrun me, or someone will outwork me. I'm not feeling it, I haven't ate the right, or you know, I haven't slept enough. You know, but all that matters is fight night. You know, you're not documenting all your sparring sessions. Oh, win, lose, win, lose. The only one that matters is fight night, and that's the one I make sure I'm 100% for.
Yeah, so you build to that night.
100%. It's like training. You know, you could, you know, kick 1,000 times and miss 1,000 times, but if you're in front of a goal on game day that it means something, that's when it matters. You know what I mean? It's drilling between the posts on the game day, not training, you're not, doesn't go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You back your work, and as you said, all that matters is when we call the balls bounce, and for you when the gloves are out.
When the gloves are out, when the bell
What's
goes.
the greatest advice one of your coaches have ever given you?
Keep your circle very small. You know, being in this sport, there's a lot of, well, we like to call them backslappers. You know, like, yeah, man, you're a champion. Yeah, Zerafa, man, can we, you know? And they're always around when everything's, you know, up.
Rosy,
yeah, perfect word, yeah, rosy. You know, everything's sweet and everything's going your way. But when you lose or, you know, and unfortunately, and luckily I haven't had that many times where I've lost, you know, but those 3 or 4 that I have, you know, it's an empty locker room. There's no one around. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, man, I won my last fight. I had to get security to get people out.
Yeah.
It took me an hour to get back to my change rooms because, man, everyone was there. I come out the steps, everyone was just grabbing me, latching onto me, you know, and I'm like, it's amazing. And then when you lose, it's like, fuck.
And you know the ones that are in your corner, like we used to laugh after a game of footy. We'd go to our phones because we have to lock our phones up, and you know you never knew how you went because you're worried about the team.
Yeah.
But if you had a good day, you'd find out on your text messages. So we always say that, you know, if you've had 10 plus text messages, because you know your families generally sometimes hold off and wait till they're out of the change rooms and give you a buzz, mate. Well done, how'd you pull up? But yeah, there'd be days where you'd come off, you know you haven't flowed well, you've got no messages, no notifications.
Exactly right.
You're like, fucking hell, it's a lonely day today.
100%. And then, like, your family will always be there, whether you win, lose, or draw, or you play good or you don't. You know, that's they're going to criticize. That's family. They're going to criticize you for, oh man, that was a shit game, or doesn't matter, next one. You know, and then that's their job. But you know, these other guys, some people, it's like, man, this is crazy. You know, there's no one around. You know, and the advice he said, mate, just keep your circle very small. That's good and advice. you know the right people when, you know, I go to talk to people and they're saying, mate, I want to talk boxing. How are you?
Yeah, real shit.
You know, they're like, man, how are you feeling today? I'm like, I've never had that one before. I'm like, I feel good. How do you feel? You know, and then it's completely off topic, not even about, oh, hey man, when's your next fight? Big announcement coming soon, man. Oh, you're a champion, bro. You know, and I get it, supporters. You know, because I hate the word fans, but the supporters are supporting my career, which is grass. But your circle, keep it very, very small. And it's advice for everybody.
Well, you got to stay focused. Like we used to say, you know, there's terms that never as bad, never as good, and that's a term that you'd use when you're winning and losing. Because if you lose, it's a panic stations, and when you win, you're going to be the best thing ever. And it's like, no, just keep it very tight, keep it internal, small, man, keep focused.
Because everyone wants to be a part of it, you know, but just let everyone just admire from the outside.
Yeah, it's more like everyone's welcome when we win.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
When we win, like open the fight, just let everyone in.
And when you keep your circle small, you're paying less people too.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, I'll just keep it even extra small. You know,
that's a good one actually. Like, how many people do you have to pay in your team and even other teams like Haney's camp and George's camp? What would they be paying to get them right?
I wouldn't want to say just in case I got it wrong.
Okay, yeah, talk about you.
But for me, you know, you pay probably 25%. You'll lose about 25% of whatever you make. So if you're making $3 million, you'll lose 25% of that and then get taxed. So it's an ugly. And people say, oh, but man, you woke up with 2.2 mil. I'm like, yeah, but I've just lost, you know, half of it gone, half is missing. You know what I mean? Like, but you pay about 25%, and then whoever else you want to pay. If you're a generous person, you can pay them.
What are the titles of all these people traditionally? Like, just what would everyone have?
So like trainer managers, you know, and then you got, you know, dietitians and masseuses and massages and all that stuff.
Yep.
But normally you work out deals with people. We're like, you know, not deals, but like, you know, normally I know people. It's like, hey man, like you want to jump on the team, you know, we'll give you like your shout outs, this and that. You're part of the team.
Promotional
stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be worldwide TV. And also giving them the opportunity to be a part of something completely different. You know, you're working 9 to 5, massaging somebody, and next thing you know, you're walking out in Vegas. You know, it's like, this is mad, you know what I mean? It's all covered. Just be a part of the team. And when we need treatment, you give me treatment.
Are most of those people there from the start, or they come and go just because it's got to be flexible hours?
They come and go. Like, I've had a lot of people, like I said, come, keep it very small. A lot of people have come that aren't there today just because, they just want other things, you know what I mean? Or I need more. Some people can only take you to a certain level, and that's not their fault. It's not my fault, but you just need more.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. You know, some people can take you to this, you need to be here, and then when you get here, you need to be there. So.
Yeah. That's great, mate. Well, just again, remind everyone what's coming up. I want you to just to keep everyone listening. Yeah, drill it into everyone's ears and their eyes that are tuning in.
Currently moved number 1 WBA, top 5 middleweights pound for pound in the world. March next year, world title fight. End of this year, December 11, Orlando, as a tune-up fight, keep busy fight. But we don't take anyone lightly. So we're going there to knock him out, and then we come back, enjoy Christmas, and then we shock the world and bring that. We bring that world title home, and we hand the new WBA middleweight world champion.
It's good. What are you gonna do with the belt when you get it?
Oh man, I'll probably sleep with it for good 3 months. But I'll kick the girl out the bed and just sleep with the belt. But for me, like I said, it's just an achievement. You know, the belt is like it's like a ring. It's symbolic. It just it's the title for me. But yeah, man, I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be sleeping with it for a couple of days.
Yeah, oh mate, you can't give it up.
Shower with it, I'll be rocking up everywhere. It'll be next level.
Oh mate, tell you what's next level. We've got the new RIXXs. These are the brand new Soho sunglasses. We've just brought these ones out, Mick. I've just got you the this is the first ever pair because it was a sample that's sent. They literally come out the day this podcast launches. Mate, throw them on. We did RIXX and retirement. Oh yeah, premium, mate. Premium. I need to clean the lenses, mate. I need to give them a quick clean. Now, while we're on the RIXX Eyewear, again, everyone out there, it was our 6th birthday. We had a sale. Thank you so much, everyone that got involved. Make sure you send us photos if you're wearing the RIXXs when the sun's out. Obviously, Spring Carnival. It's all happening at the moment, so should be in full flight. Now, we've got Michael Zerafa here in the Soho black. They are just premium on you, mate. That is a Derby Day special.
Pull it down, pull it off.
Oh, yeah, mate. So when you were in the world title fight, we said RIXX and retirement. But where's the one place you'd love to go? You leave them on, mate. Leave them on for this segment. What would be the one place that you're taking this belt? So you're going to have the belt for a while. The RIXXs are on. You just need that, you've worked so hard. You just need a bit more R&R.
Yeah. Well, I've always said I want to go to where I'm from, Malta. I've never been. Apparently I'm very, very well known over there. They've claimed me as their own. So I actually get people sending me messages of my murals in restaurants and stuff like that. So I'd love to go back to the land from where my parents are from and just enjoy, man. Just kick back and just take some time off and soak up some sun. How
much sun would you? Like how long would you once you got that world title fight done, you win. How long do you take off? Like do you stay? Like, I know you like to stay ready. So is it a couple of weeks or is it a month?
Oh look, man, I'd literally be back in the gym the next day, but I wouldn't be training. I'd be just training like to keep fit, just to look good, just to eat lollies. I'll be training for fitness, just to, look good at the beach. I wouldn't be training for a world title fight. I'd just be enjoying it. It's a lifestyle for me. Even if I quit tomorrow and work full time, I'd get up early. I'd still go for my run. Just, that dedication, man, just that discipline of just, looking good and feeling good. I don't want to be 50 years old with a big gut and, which there's nothing wrong with it. As long as you're healthy, it doesn't matter what you look like.
It doesn't look as good.
It doesn't look as good. As long as you're healthy, that means absolutely nothing. But, I just like looking good, man. As a kid.
Well, mate, you always look good and you look premium in those new Soho sunglasses.
Mate. Absolute champion.
We've always had the logo on the side. I'm just so, glad that we finally woke up and we put RIXX on the side. They look great, mate. The Soho sunglasses, for anyone out there that wants them, use the discount code ACES at checkout. You get 20% off and free express shipping. Now, mate, we've got a couple other things to get. Chuck this on the old. This is for you.
Wreck the hair, mate.
Yeah, I don't want to wreck that, but that's from Caps. They're friends at Caps. I've got one of their on. I got the New York Jets. They're on fire. Coach Salah's just on fire. But
thank you very much, Caps.
But Caps again, they're in High Point, which is near us. They're in a couple other stores. Head online at caps.com.au and check them out. Use our discount code ACES. They've got elite hats, by the way.
I get all my stuff from there too, even the beanies and stuff like that.
All their
next level.
All their social media. They've been putting up these new white hats with all the I've never seen so many combinations of hats. Caps, I should say, that you want. Now, mate, we've got another one. MILWAUKEE Tools. Milwaukee, I should say. I always muck it up. They are our new sponsor. We love them so much. Nothing but heavy duty. Mate, you don't just come on Tommy Talks now and go home with a pair of sunnies and a cap. You get it all from MILWAUKEE Tools. They are literally the best in the business. Mate, just on tools and everything here. We've got the blower here, the M18 fuel driven to outperform right in front of us. You'll get a whippersnipper, you'll get a chainsaw. You're gonna get the works, mate. We've got the battery pack here. Look at this, everything here. It's all for you, mate. This is all for you.
Have a look at this.
That up there, son.
Milwaukee,
big
thank you
shout
very
out
much.
to Milwaukee Tools.
Huge shout out, mate. Legend.
You'll be going home with this. We'll be sending you this in the mail. There's more than this. I couldn't fit it in the van. That's how generous these guys are. They are the best. Like I said, driven to outperform and nothing but heavy duty. What do you like on the tools? How do you go?
Yeah, I'm all right. I did apprenticeship as a chippy, so I'd like to consider myself somewhat useful. But there's a few people that might listen to this that think otherwise. Tommy, if you're listening, mate, it's he always gives me shit.
Is this one of your mates?
Yeah.
What's he say to you?
Mate, he always says, mate, he always goes, there's levels. There's levels. And he considers himself to be a lot better than me. He says, look, one thing you can't beat me in is building, and so he always gives me shit for it.
Well,
so.
now you have the Milwaukee Tools to just take him to the cleaners. They've got the whippersnippers, like I said. They've got it all. How do you go on the landscape gardening? Are you at the back, or you'd probably want to look after the rig, I would have thought?
Yeah, well, just if the sun's out, I'll get out there and any excuse to get a bit of a tan. But I'm actually scared of spiders, so if I can avoid it, I will, mate. I hate being out there, but if it needs to be done, I'll do it. But luckily, my grass is all fake, and I've got a nice decking out there, so it looks good.
Oh, that's great.
Done.
Well, you can blow the leaves away.
I'll blow the
with
leaves,
this.
mate. I appreciate it. I'll do the front yard.
Milwaukee Tools, thank you so much. Nothing but heavy duty, just driven to outperform. They are the best in the business. Mate, thanks so much for your time. Like I said, I just, keep working your ass off. That's 5 months away now from the big one. You got the tune up. We'll be all tuning in. It's great to see you back here. We'll do another one just before the big fight. But yeah, mate, just stay healthy, stay fit and available, and just keep winning, mate. Because I literally can't wait. I'm a bit of a talk about patience. I want that fight now.
Mate, both. I'm hanging. I'm jumping out my skin, mate. But I appreciate you giving me the time and the platform, and mate, you're doing great things. So much love, brother. I appreciate it.
Easy, man. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for listening to another episode. If you enjoy listening to our podcast, please feel free to hit us up on our social channels at Ausmerican Aces. If you're entertained, inspired, or feel more educated, please share it with your friends and family because we appreciate the support. Righto, catch you on the next one.